Hello and welcome back to FoodTribe. Today is all about steak. Now I know some of you have got some very strong opinions when it comes to how you cook and eat your cow, with some of you not daring to touch it unless it's the best, perfect, most expensive hand massaged Kobe. But we're going to be looking at the other end of the spectrum, cheap steak, and how to make it taste like a fillet steak, or at least as close as we can get. I'm going to show you 4 different ways to tenderize your meat, and then we're going to cook them on the Tefal OptiGrill Elite. The really cool thing about the OptiGrill Elite is that it has a sensor in it which automatically measures the thickness of your meat, adjusts the cooking time so you get perfect results. It's got 12 preset programs, so whether you're cooking aubergine, sausages, chicken, you're gonna get a great cooked meal every time. The 3 basic components of any marinade are acid, fat, and seasoning or additional flavors. So 4 different ones today. One of them I've seen quite a bit on hack videos on the internet, which is using an entire blended pineapple. The enzymes in the pineapple apparently break down the proteins within your steak. I've seen mixed results. Some people swear that you can make the cheapest steak taste like a filet mignon, and other people have said that it basically turns your steak into mush. So I think timing is really key with this one. So we're gonna leave it on for about an hour, no longer than that, because I think it's gonna then go a little bit too far. So we're going to put the entire blended pineapple into a big Ziploc bag. Try and not get this all over the table. And then 1 steak in the bag. Make sure it's nice and coated. Seal the bag up. And we will get that in the fridge. Next, we're going to do a super caffeinated marinade. So in this one, we have got some oil, we've got some full fat Coke, and we've also got some coffee. And in goes the steak. Get some of the air out of it. Next up, we've got a slightly boozy one. So this one is a classic red wine and garlic marinade. Steak in the bag. And finally, we have a Laura salt. Coarse sea salt on this one, so you can wash it off afterwards, because otherwise you will have the world's saltiest steak. And then you're liberally going to cover this on both sides. That's all going to fall off. Excellent. Make sure that is as covered as possible. So we've got all 4 of our steaks in their Ziploc bags, and they're now in the fridge. I'm going to leave them there for between an hour to 2 hours, depending on which one, and then we will get grilling. So we are now ready to get our first marinated steak on. This one is the pineapple steak. So it was in the pineapple for a little bit over an hour. Taken it out of there, given it a good wash, because obviously we don't want to taste all that pineapple. Seasoned it with salt and pepper, let it come up to room temperature, which is also important for keeping your meat nice and tender. And we're going to get it on the grill. This one we're going to do rare and see how it comes out on the Tefal OptiGrill Elite. So just got that out the OptiGrill after a couple of minutes. It still smells very pineapple-y. I'm a little bit concerned, but we will leave it to rest. Good kind of rule of thumb is to do it for the same amount of time that you cooked it for, and then we'll try it. So just cut the steak. It is looking a little bit weird though with this pineapple marinade. All important taste test. It's definitely rare, which is good, but it does smell very pineapple-y still, and I gave it a good wash. It is really tender, but it has got that little pineapple-y twang afterwards. Steak number 2 is our red wine and garlic marinated steak. As you can see, it's taken on a bit of the colour of the wine, and it smells really good. So we're going to cook this one medium rare. This one certainly looks and smells more appealing than the pineapple option. All important taste test. I think the pineapple one was slightly more tender, but not necessarily in a pleasing way. This one's definitely winning it for me so far. Next up, we're trying our caffeinated Coke and coffee steak. Simply seasoned, up to room temperature, and we're going to cook this one medium. So on to the results. Smells pretty good. Tastes good though. I'm not sure whether the marinade just had an effect on tenderizing it. It might have needed longer. I think with the Coke and coffee one, you probably could get away with doing it up to 24 hours, which would probably really help it. A couple of hours hasn't really tenderized it, but has imparted a really nice flavour. Now we're on to our super salty little number. I haven't added any more salt to this. I've given it a good wash. The texture of it's gone really strange. It's almost like if you've been sat in a bath too long and you get a bit pruny. So I'll be really intrigued to see what has happened with this one. I've just added a bit of pepper and we'll give it a go. Now to try the results of the super salty one. It weirdly didn't take on as much colour cooking as I thought it would, even though it's done medium well. Slight hint of pink and that's about it. This one is definitely more tender, but I feel that it's taken so much moisture out of it and has such a salty aftertaste that the effects of the tenderizing probably wouldn't be worth it. So what have we learned today? Well, the Tefal OptiGrill Elite will cook your steaks to perfection, whether you like them blue, well done, or anything in between. We've learned that bathing your steak in salt or pineapple kind of works, but isn't gonna change your life, I'm really sorry to say. On the other hand, I would love to know if there's any hacks that you swear by for transforming a cheap steak. And while you're there, please like, comment, and subscribe to the FoodTribe YouTube channel.